Guess who's back?
I'm so glad to be back, man. We should have done an episode last week, dude. That ruined
Good
me
stuff.
all night long, all the rest of the week. I was like, man, I should have just pulled over or something. I don't know because I was in the middle of absolutely nowhere when we would have started the show, so it wouldn't have worked. But it'd have been fine, right?
Of course. I mean,
Yeah,
we did
yeah,
one on the way down while you were in the car, but at least
yeah,
it was daytime.
yeah. At least it was daytime. Did a nighttime one on Sunday night with Gearhead Perspective. It was like the Blair Witch Project in there, man, with the flashlight falling over and stuff. Anyways, all right, guys, welcome to episode 138 of the Drag Driver Pete Show presented by Summit Racing. Tonight, great show. I hope you're ready. We have Brandon Parker and Chris Smith on to talk about experiences at Sick Week, other Drag and Drive events, and also we've called this episode accessibility because they're kind of dive into some of the challenges maybe that people would see and some of the tips and tricks that people maybe with some disabilities can use for drag and drive stuff. So it's going to be a really great learning experience. Brandon's one of my favorite people in the entire world, so he's going to be telling a bunch of cool stories. And we've got Sick Week. I was making a list of like recognizable names of people that broke, dude. I had to stop typing. There's so many, so
Yeah.
many. We're going to talk about a new event on the list and dates and tracks for other events that are coming up. So, Mr. Eric White, let's hit the intro and do this thing.
All right, let's go.
Oh man, watching that back through, that was Sick Week 2025. A lot of those pieces of content within that intro, dude. Only like two of those cars finished
Right.
this year. So we're going to have to do a new one. Lots of fun stuff's coming up, guys. My name's Mike Narks. I'm the host of this show and the news that happens on Saturday mornings. My right-hand man, Mr. Eric White, right here. Dude, what you got going on, man?
I am Eric White, co-host of the show and news. Typically a lot of photo editing, but we're caught up for the year. I got to do a little bit of editing on the photos that you took, which was kind of fun, and getting things ready for the circuit. Artwork has been rolling out. Racer cards are going out. So that's kind of been what I've been focused on recently.
Yeah, man, it's been wild. It's got to feel strange to not have those. I don't know, just that list of photo burden, not burden, but like that workload that was coming with that, man. You were working on that every day for months.
Yeah, it was wild. It's strange. Oddly enough, I kind of miss it, but I don't miss it being under the pressure to get them out. So it's
Yeah,
a weird love-hate relationship there.
right. And your boy took about 35 photos all week. I
Yeah, it
got
was more than that.
have
You averaged about 25 a day.
I have hundreds of videos, but not as many photos as I wanted. I'll tell you, man, I stayed busy, but we're going to talk about that in just a little bit, guys. I don't know if you know this or not, but we can't do it without you guys. And this show is going to be so awesome. I'm going to ask you to hit the share button, please, please, please. Thank you for being our race car friends. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody that came up to me, stopped me, hollered at me from across the parking lot while I was down at Sick Week. Man, it was an incredible time seeing everybody. And just, this is like that event that kind of kicks off the year. Being at PRI is fun because we get to see everybody in kind of a relaxed atmosphere. But being at Sick Week really, man, it just kind of gets me motivated for the year. It's going to be wild. And thank you so much to our sponsors for making that entire trip and all the trips and equipment and everything like that possible throughout the year. So if you guys are shopping, hit these guys up. Summit Racing, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cams, J-Wire Solutions, AFCO Racing Products, Performer Built Transmissions, Car Change 3D. You guys, I can't tell you enough how awesome these sponsors are to take us under their wing and really help us out a whole lot as far as growing the brand, finding out all the cool stuff, whatever we can do to help them. So we appreciate them a bunch. Let me go ahead and play this sweet, buttery voice of Mr. Brian Lones talking about Summit Racing.
What does it mean to be built with Summit? It means you're hitting the autocross, drag strip, dirt, or open road with confidence. Because built with Summit means you're using parts from the top names in performance. Let's build it together. SummitRacing.com.
And one day, I hope my voice is as good as that. he just projects that. I want to talk about Summit for just another minute here. Our boy Alec, who is down there, has done a ton of events over the last couple of years. You guys know him. He is one of the most helpful people in the Summit tent. He is moving from catalog development, I guess is probably the best way to describe what he did, over to the events and marketing team. So he's going to be at way more events this year than he has in the past. So this will be really cool for him to kind of step into that role. I mean, he's been doing it. He drives the truck a lot of times. He's there helping. He works his ass off, but you'll be able to find him in the booth as well. So I don't know if that means Tommy's going to be at less events or Tommy's going to be now at more, and he's bringing Alec in. So it's more, but just want to say congratulations to him, and I'm excited for him and all the stuff that's going to change, and how much cooler it's going to be for the event. We also got to hang out with Kevin, but Kevin's going to keep doing Kevin things, so I don't know what that is, but Kevin's awesome too. Didn't want to leave him out at all, but big shout out to Alec there. And then lastly, for our Summit segment here, I'll flip back to that one. For the circuit participants, Summit provided us with individual codes that people can use for a discount and stuff like that. I'm sending in those out, but through MailChimp, you cannot assign a unique code to an entire population of people. So like if it was one code, it'd be fine. But I had my 13-year-old daughter in there typing away emails. I was sending some emails today. It was pretty wild. So bear with me. You're going to get one. It's just going to take me a couple of days to get through all of those. So I'm excited about that. I know there's people that are ordering a bunch of stuff, and hopefully this discount code will help them kind of get there. So big shout out to Summit and for doing that for the circuit racers, man. We're so excited. They're the title sponsor of the show, the news, and the circuit. Helps a bunch in the awards and all that stuff. And then while you're in there, if you're getting a discount code, bro, you know what that means. You got to hit that Drag Driver Pete Summit branded merch, get your shirt, get your hoodie, get your hat, while you're over there. All right. Walk us through some Drag Driver Pete updates, sir.
Yeah, so one exciting thing that came out on Monday is information on Hot Rod by Havlicks. This year's event is going to be awesome. And the drag and drive portion we are helping out with. So this is kind of cool. We're going to be sending out invitations to the quickest 100 all-time drag and drive racers over the next few days. It's going to provide an exclusive opportunity to register early. And the first invitation should go out tonight after the show.
Yeah, I'm excited to be doing this. Again, one more thing that I'm doing individually. So add that. That's like 400 emails I need to send out individually over the next 3 or 4 days.
Right.
So lots of stuff going on there. And then we joked about this a couple weeks ago, but dude, it's really been kind of popping off. The race weight deal, small group chat, basically kind of motivating each other and all that kind of stuff. I went to sick week. I gained 2 pounds. I was up 2 pounds on Monday when I weighed, but then I was down those 2 pounds on Tuesday when I weighed after I fasted Monday night. So technically, I didn't gain any weight during sick week. That's I'm taking.
And that group chat helped you avoid some corn dogs and some other things throughout the week, didn't it?
Dude, I'm telling you, that was one of the toughest decisions I've ever made. That corn dog looked so good. It was like that dark, crispy outside. But yeah, I mean, accountability, that's kind of the whole thing. Like this race weight deal, Dan Chandler is crushing it in there. Matt Lang, you're in there. Dude, there's a bunch of folks in there. It's kind of fun. Eric Risner. Who else? Anyways, if you want
Justin Cottle.
Yeah, Dustin Cottle, who actually lost weight during sick week as well. So
Yep.
pretty
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. Started fasting myself, which I put a screenshot in today. And by some crazy busy day, I ended up fasting for 23 hours and 20 minutes, which is a new record.
Dude,
And
that's insane.
it was kind of wild. So just before the show, I had dinner and then, hit end fasting, ate dinner, had a handful of grapes, and then hit start fasting again. So it was literally like a 30-minute eating window, and I started fasting again. So
Man, that's
water.
wild. Yeah. I'll tell you the fun I think about or the good thing for me about fasting is like I feel so much better the next morning.
Yeah.
Dude,
And you do yours different than I do.
Yeah.
You eat breakfast and fast the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And I basically eat lunch and dinner and then fast the rest of the day. So we're both kind of do it different ways, but our weigh-ins are on Friday. So the first week, I think I was down 4.5 pounds, and I'm probably somewhere on pace for that again for this week. So that'll put 8 or
Wow.
9 pounds in 2 weeks. So,
Dude, that's awesome.
haven't done anything else really different.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have to eat breakfast or I get grumpy. Breakfast, and then I'll do like a late lunch, 2 or 3 o'clock, and then I fast the rest of the time. So I can
Yeah.
usually skip dinner if I'm working. If I'm just chilling on the couch, man, so tough for me to do that.
Yeah.
So fasting or race weight, if you guys want in, definitely come hit us up. Let us know. We'll add you to the group. Just basically a simple. We're not gonna make this a competition. I said it in the beginning because then you crash diet and you don't get there. Hey, Theme Chic, man, dude is a freaking boss. I'm telling you, we're gonna go over all of the wins and class wins and stuff on Saturday morning on the news, and his name is going to be one up there for sure. Circuit updates, dude. This thing just keeps rolling along. Like you said earlier, you're working on artwork for racers. I wanted to grab just a few of the ones you have done. I don't know if these have been posted or not. I think some of them have, but featuring some trucks tonight, just because you're doing such a great job behind the scenes putting all these things together. So thought I would grab a couple of them. These are going out every third day. Our boy Joe is scheduling these out. So you guys are going to see these on both Drag Driver Pete and the circuit, kind of tag teaming it this year. And then probably after the circuit, we'll close up the circuit page and focus everything here on Drag Driver Pete. Because since we've done more posting on Drag Driver Pete about the circuit, I've gotten a lot more attention, especially at Sick Week. A lot of people are interested in the event. I think we picked up 6 or 8 road trippers while we were down there, so it's pretty cool. Barry Cook, what's up, dude? What's up? It was great to see him and hang out down there. So the circuit coming up, dude, we got to be 70-something days from the circuit.
And if people are registered and haven't seen a racer card yet, send us over photos. I have been going through the list of registrants and the people that I do know and going back through previous years of photos that I have taken and been kind of making these. But, there's some people that I don't know or might not be friends with on Facebook or can't find any pictures. So if you have something that looks good that you want featured, just reach out, send that to us, and I'll be working on those all the way up until the circuit.
Yeah, I'm excited. All right, well, let's jump to the next deal. I got to meet one of the circuit racers, brand new for this year. Brian, met him at South Georgia Motorsports Park, lives in North Georgia, and is driving his car from North Georgia to Tulsa, Oklahoma for the circuit. I'm like, let's go, bud. So Roger Morrison is a friend of his, and he's coming up, and so they're going to convoy together.
That is awesome.
Cool. Yep, it's great to be able to meet those guys and kind of hang out and do all that stuff. Moving on to the Driven Racing Oil segment. I'll play this and then we'll jump in and talk about some event stuff because there's a bunch in here too.
Hey, it's Brandon from Fort Smith, Arkansas here. Driven Racing Oil is a performance engine oil that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application. Whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or pushing the limits in top-fueled drag boats and demo derbies, winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cleaning and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil and enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance.
Man, Brandon Parker going to be on here in just a little bit. We get to hear that voice all night long. I'm excited. Reminder, guys, DDR10 is your discount code on drivenracingoil.com. On anything you purchase over there, you get a 10% discount using DDR10. Dude, this was kind of announced, I guess, or mentioned during our episode a week and a half ago or something like that. I think, was it the news or on the show before episode 137?
Oh man, I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't either. But Pistons in the Pines, man, Maine's first drag and drive event. So we're seeing a lot of Northeast stuff, man. People are kind of filling those gaps in. I love it. So this is kind of a neat deal. It's Maine's first multi-day drag and drive, July 23rd through 25th. There's an event page that's coming up, info, classes, website, registration, all of that's coming very soon. Never heard of either of these drag strips in any of the conversations I've ever had with anybody. Fernald, Fernald Field Dragway, and then New Oxford Dragway is where these are going to host. I love these 3-day events. You guys know I love the weekend stuff, and this falls right in the same weekend as Heads Up Hustle. So I think we probably need some close classes and some trash talk. You know
That's
what
always
I mean?
fun.
Some competition between the two. We've done that a few times with events that land on the weekend of the circuit. So I think that would definitely be something we should look at. So if John Paul Franks is watching this, let's figure this out, man. Let's get with these promoters of these Pistons in the Pines and talk about that. And then up next, another info new for 2026, the 850 index for Heads Up Hustle. This is going to be an interesting one because these guys are used to running for their best possible 850 pass, but the first 2 days will set an eliminations ladder for Sunday racing, which is going to be so awesome as we hopefully, TJ Linebaugh, Brian Acton, all those guys that just come heavy hitters with this 850 index stuff. It's going to be a good one for Heads Up Hustle. And you guys will get to hear me and my gravelly voice tonight talk about some 850 racing and all the other races because I'll be the announcer there. And then the dates, of course, July 24th through 26th. But I don't think we announced this last time, but Durana 42, Dragway 42, and then Durana Milan are the tracks. So we'll go 42 to Milan and back. So it'll be a great route, great tracks, all the stuff.
Yep. I think on the last episode, the tracks were getting released later that day. So we didn't have the information yet.
Yep, that's right. So that's going to be a good one. Last bit here. I'll let you talk about the registrations that are open right now.
Yep. So registrations that are open, the Great American Detour is open. I did see today that he had posted that the shirts are on the website too, which is pretty awesome. Those are some great looking shirts. So anybody that's looking to support them as well, that is one way you can help support. But the Great American Detour registration is open. Hot Rod Drag Week, the class winners, registration is open for class winners. And Buckeye Skips registration is currently open for that as well.
Yeah, Buckeye Skips messaged me earlier, and they said something like 41 spots available or something like that. So they're going to sell out, and it just opened today. So,
question here: any idea how many entries are available for Drag Week Drag Pack?
I think it's unlimited. I don't know if they have I don't know if they have an issue, but I think they would probably get nervous around 200, which I don't think they'll. I mean, that's probably a close number to what they'll get. But I don't remember hearing a number about Drag Pack last year.
Nice. Danny signed up for the Great American Detour.
Nice. That's awesome. I just realized I didn't sign up for that. I got to do that. Wow.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Ryan Wing, Jamie Dollar, and here. What's up to you guys as well? I got to see Jamie a couple times throughout the week down there at Sick Week. And next episode 139, is going to be Chris Wozniak and Keith Turk. Chris is going to be on talking about his PBs and running all the cool stuff he did at Sick Week. But also, he has developed an app called Track Buddy, which him and a few other people used throughout the week. And I mean, listen, he ran PBs nearly every day. That car just kept coming down. I'm not going to say it's because of Track Buddy, but let's just be honest. He had Track Buddy and he ran PBs. Is that a coincidence? Probably not. And then Keith Turk, in the notes here, I have rule maker and ball breaker, because this dude's been doing it. I mean, he's been on the rule committee and the race director since the beginning. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be awesome to have him on. He's been on before. We had a great conversation last time. This one I think will be really good. We're actually going to put out a couple of posts for the next few days to get people's questions, find out what you want to know from Keith, because he is, one, a wealth of knowledge, but then two, man, that dude is not afraid to thump somebody on the head. Like, will boot your ass in a second. And I think he's going to have some good stories about that. There was a lot of stuff at Sick Week. I think they went through, some growing pains, not in car counter tech, but in like just people not really know, a lot of new people for Sick Week. So it's going to be kind of fun to hear some of the fun stories of what people forgot, or hey, I thought I had a good cage and it's not. So I did talk to Rick Dodge throughout the week, and he did do several cage certifications while we were down there. So that was kind of fun.
Nice. Well, that puts us up to 48 events for the year. Obviously, that list is ever growing as we keep getting new events added. You can find all those on the new interactive map that Mike has created at dragdriverpete.com/event list 2026.
I'm dropping it in the chat right now as well. All right, so that is the driven segment, event updates. I want to say thanks to them. It was cool hanging out with them, although they were so busy all week. I think total, I spent like 12 minutes with Bill and Ashley. Like,
yeah,
they were always had people over there, and just busy, man. It was awesome. It's awesome to see. Well, let's talk about some J-Wire stuff. Go ahead.
Yep, I'll hit this video, and then we've got a bunch to talk about here.
What's up, guys? My name is Cole from Fort Worth, Texas. Expert car and marine wiring solutions that you can trust. J-Wire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, hell, even your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience way better, like their blinker module that is just a must for all drag and drive cars. This module will allow your rear turn signals to continue to function while the brake pedal is applied, just like stock. Find all the details at jwiresolutions.com.
Oh, man. This is going to be a good one. So our boys, Brian and Jay, I hung out with them quite a bit, slept in the trailer with them on Sunday night before we moved all the stuff back to the staging area. Spent a lot of time hanging out with them, and those boys kicked ass and took names. Again, we're going to go over all of the details of all that on Saturday morning show. But first, I want to bring in Mr. Brandon Parker, because he's going to hang out with us while we go through all this stuff, because Brandon was down there and spent some time with me and all that kind of fun stuff. So, dude, introduce yourself to everybody. What's up?
Hey, I'm Brandon Parker here from Fort Smith area. I've been going to these events for quite some time, known Mike for a number of years, and pleasure enough to know Eric for quite a few years as well. So yeah, this made the fifth. I've been to every Sick Week the first couple of years as a Sick Ward person, but the last couple actually competing in the events, mostly in D class in Sick Week Freaks. I've also done Sick Summer, Mike's events as well in the circuit, and then also helping him out with the short circuit late last year.
Dude, instrumental part of the short circuit.
Oh no,
like
just glad to be there.
Yeah, it was awesome. So let's talk about some of the stuff that came up. Obviously, being J-Wire, I want to talk about these guys because Jay Blanchard is the co-pilot in the car. But for some reason, this photo is like flipped. That car's not right-hand drive. But Jay actually got to drive the Nova for one full day, which was the first time Brian had let anybody else drive the Nova during an event.
Really?
Yeah. And Jay had only driven the car like 2.5 miles ever in their time. Kind of, Jay does all the tuning, does a lot of, all the wiring and plumbing and all that kind of stuff for the car. But it's the first time he's driven it more than like 2.5 miles.
Well, it's a little scary because Brian's got the laptop and that's usually backwards too.
Yeah. I don't know. That would scare me a little bit there. Brian is definitely a wheel man, and man, chopping trees down. That dude is awesome. So it's cool. And big shout out to big shout out to Brian for letting Jay kind of do that. And he drove it all day, like 200 something miles.
Yeah, Brian was over there hitting the up button when Jay wasn't looking. He'd hit it one more click at a time. And I want to give a shout out to my dad, I got him tuned in watching Sick Week all week while I was at work, and he was sending me updates when Brian and
That's awesome.
Rovic and when different people were running. So I was getting the updates on what their passes was, even though I wasn't able to watch all of it.
How cool. Yeah, we need a dudes trip. You and your dad and me and Steven, we'll all cruise down to Sick Week 2027. That's what we need to do. Yeah. All right. So that's their third win. Okay. Third class win at a sick event, which means they have now 3 orange helmets. Brian awarded Jay with the helmet for this one. So I think he wore it most of the way home.
I mean, if you had one, would you take it off?
No, I would do this show in it. It makes me want to do that for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about some stuff here. Sick Week 2026, crazy. One of the largest events of the year, obviously one of the largest events in history. 359 cars started the event.
Wow.
Brandon, this is going to be an opinion here, but do you feel like that was too many? I feel like it was a lot.
It was borderline a lot. I mean, I think it was a combination of like the weather being just brutal, cold and windy. So everybody was moving slow anyway. And then with that number of cars, made it feel like, oof.
Yeah.
Monday was a rough and slow start.
Yeah. That definitely slow start. I think you're probably right with the weather, though. I think that's really because cars were making more power than they ever should have. They weren't. The track wasn't able to get hot enough in the early parts, so like a lot of those guys were spinning.
Yeah, and I mean, they couldn't take advantage because like the DA was negative for so many days, like thousands of feet negative. It was amazing. I mean, amazing air. It just stinks that the track surface wasn't quite ready, which for me in D class was a boon because I could go out there and have a little bit of fun and kind of warm up the track for everybody else. But yeah, I would imagine those people that were gunning for numbers, as we saw, it turned into a mess for a lot of folks.
Yeah, my numbers here: 275 of 359 finished. That's a 23%.
Yeah,
dude.
Is that the largest attrition of Sick Week?
Probably pretty close. I think we've had a higher number with Sick Week, and again, it's just everybody getting down there. Everybody has, the folks that live close to Eric or in that belt line there in the States, they have no testing. They have no way to test it on a dyno or just letting it idle for a little while. And you go full throttle for a full 9-10 seconds, things are going to happen.
Right.
And just crazy stuff. I mean, I think just crazy, things that wouldn't, like the deals said in this recent video, they're like, we had things happen that have never happened. Like a relay went bad and they lost half a bank of their cylinders. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry. Go for it, Eric.
No, I was just going to say the other thing you had here in the notes was the length of the race days was 7 to 9 hours. Is that more than what it typically is, or was that less?
It has to be more. I don't remember going until dark.
Yeah, it was a lot more. They was a couple days where they were they had a hard cut and then it went well past that because I remember seeing we had already left and gone to some of the route stops. We were still getting hard cut times through the sick messaging that they do. And yeah, I was blown away on a number of days, specifically on the last day on Saturday, because it seemed like it was never going to end.
Yeah, we're like, okay, please. Yeah, it was the first time I hadn't stayed for the awards because I was trying to get on the road, and that was 3 hours later than what I wanted to leave.
Yeah. I know that feel. Yeah, you're just like goodness gracious.
Danny here saying the wind was brutal on Saturday night through Monday. So glad I had layers, but didn't bring my snow boots. I should have. Woke up Sunday with icicles on my tent and frost on Monday morning. And when I had talked to you, you had said that you slept in your truck on the way down, and you were telling me how cold that was even.
Yeah, it was brutally cold. It was 22 degrees in Buc-ee's parking lot, and I think it was 24 in the truck. It was too cold.
It was rough. We talked to some folks when we got in on Saturday evening, and they were coming from northern places, and even some in Canada, and they were like, "This is nuts." I think that humidity in Florida has to do some of that, but it was it was raw and just had people wore plumb out. I know Dustin Caudle, he was saying that he and his dad, they were fighting icing the radiator, and so they were just letting it idle for a long time at fuel stops and those kind of things, just trying to keep the heat in the radiator itself.
Oh yeah, that was so Jack Weatherford, we're going to talk about in a minute, but his he had a new motor built, full of water, parked it overnight, pushed 2 freeze plugs out the back.
Oh,
So had to take it home, repair it. Now he missed 2 days of racing, but came back. I mean, it was simple. It was freeze plugs back in, but he had to completely disassemble the stick shift trans.
Yeah,
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 go ahead.
Yeah, when the first day has over 2 hours of oil down, it stretches things a bit. So
Yeah.
Tractor class was out.
Yeah, big shout out to the tracks, man. They really, I can't imagine how hard that is to, just continue to prep and do all that stuff to get through all that. But yeah, 55 weather Chevy there is Jack. I'm guessing. So the length of race days was pretty interesting because it really, for some reason, I could not pull myself away from the track to just leave, go. There's still racing going on, but leave. But B Radial was the last class to run in schedule. And I mean, a lot of those guys, that's our 850 Radial guys. And, I got to get those stories, got to talk to those racers, got to see those passes. And so that pushed me back. But there were, at least 2 days where I left and it was dark. Leaving the track. So that's pretty abnormal for us, I think, if you followed us for a while. Usually our route stops are in the daylight.
Yeah. All right, you want to run through these quickest 10 here?
Oh yeah, for sure.
This is a new top 3 that has not been in the top 3, because typically our sick week is usually some repeat top 3 members, but it was all new this year, right?
Yeah, 100% new. This was crazy. I mean, we're going to talk about cars that are out right after we talk about these top 10. So let's run through these. Nicholas Lindgren, this guy right here, this gray Swedish Camaro. This dude is a freaking beast. 649.05 for average for the week to take the number 1 overall spot. I'll do the top 3. Nick Reinhardt, our boy in the gray Nova. Man, that dude is awesome. Chevy 2 Nova, 681 for an average for him. And then Les Smith in the black 5th gen Camaro, 686 for the top 3 spots.
Yeah. 4th was Alex Taylor in the 55 with a 6.869. And I seen a post that they made that they needed to run, and I don't remember the number offhand. It was like a 637 to break the top 3, and they ran like a 639 or 640. So they were right there too.
Yep, it was very, very tight. Well, you can tell. I mean, they're 8 thou out of overtaking Les Smith, or 9 thousandths overtaken Les. I mean, it was pretty intense, man. She ran a PB throughout the week as well. We're going to talk about all of those on Saturday as well.
Yeah, and then so 5th was David Armentrout in the Chevy 2 with a 6.936. 6th place Glenn Hunter in the red and white 56 with a 6.968. Number 7 come in Alan Whitaker. Do you see this in the Monte Carlo? 7.001. So close to that 6.
Yeah, heartbreaking, man. I'm telling you, that was tough to watch. Val Morris, man, I guess we can move her into one of the quickest ladies in drag and drive now. She may be the 2nd quickest lady in drag and drive, being honest, thinking about it now. Blue 5th gen Camaro, they were running all week, 7:15 for her. Number 9, Brad Arnold, bro, in the low dollar motorsports, Grand National or T-Type, whatever it is, 7:15 for him. And then Chris Benor, who did, I think he was a top 1, or I think he was the quickest one at Southeast Street and Meet. He's our number 10 spot, gray Fox body with a 7:18 average for the week. Pretty impressive, man.
Yeah, Devin Madison here saying being dead last every single day sucked. Have to admit, hitting every checkpoint in the dark blows.
Yeah, that's
some of that. Some of that's like what Derek said. Oil downs and stuff push things back, but obviously some of that's run order as well. So.
Yep. Yeah, an import made the top 20. That's pretty awesome. Let's run through these lists here because I want to get Brandon's thought on this too. Recognizable racers that DNF'd. Are you ready? I'm going to run through a few names here. It's going to blow your mind. Goldstone,
So
Lutz, Devin, Blaine Stark, Stefan Gustafson, Sheldon Root, Will Fair, top 3 at Drag Week. Sammy Toivonen, that dude's a big deal in Street Week Sweden. Chuck Stefanski.
yes,
I don't think we've ever said that name there before. Letitia Hughes. I know this is her 3rd sick week, but crazy. Jim Treadle, dude, that hardly ever happens. Bob Hess, Jim Parkinson, Jason Pickett in the hearse,
yeah.
Robert Williams, man. And
Oh, I forgot about Robert. Yeah.
What sucks about Robert, that it was like the tiniest little push of head gasket, but it completely took him out. I was 6 feet from Finnegan's Hemi exploding. Crazy video. Watch the day 5. It opens with that spot. Scott Mueller, who we had in the opening shot there in the 33 multicolored car. I don't even think he made it a day. How about this name? Rob Courtney, bro. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
How does that even happen? I did Rob split the block and not have another block to move everything over? I don't know. It's crazy. Matt Moore, that was a sad one. I mean, he was out day 1. Mike Swindoll, Kyle Buntley, Jared Aspergren, one of our circuit racers, along with Jim Parkinson, dude, sent the intake to the moon. Jared
Yeah.
did. It
Yeah.
was, I hate to say it, it was awesome. It's making a pass and it just ka-choo right off the top. And then Graham Hayes, man, what a sad setup, dude. And those are just names that I felt like was recognizable as I flew through the list.
I didn't hear you. Did you say Kevin Smith as well? I didn't hear you. Did.
Oh God, Kevin Smith, knocked the deck
The
off.
side of the, yes. Yeah.
yeah. God, I'm gonna add that name now.
Yeah, I just did.
Thanks.
Danny Grubaugh here saying, how about a shout out to Tom Bagley for getting into the 9s and getting his NHRA license and getting it signed off by Finnegan and Clay Milliken. That is pretty awesome.
Mega cool.
Dude, he had probably I don't know. He may have had the best week of anybody, to be honest. I mean,
Yeah.
he got me as a co-pilot for a little while. I think Emily Reeves was a co-pilot for a little while with him.
Yeah.
We'll tell that story later about the alignment because it's hilarious. I'm going to add that to the notes. Yeah. Man, he had an incredible weekend. To have your NHRA license signed by Clay Milliken, dude, does it get any cooler than that?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. And Clay was out, just enjoying his trip. I don't remember what he was driving. I think he was probably just kind of.
He was in his that blower truck, the square body.
Oh, that's right. The
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Lutz. I saw Lutz and he cruising around in that for a number of days. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I kept trying to cross paths with those guys and sadly did not do it. Those are guys we need to have on the show at some point, especially now that Clay's been on one and kind of went through that struggle. I'd love to see what he thought about all of it. I'll have to watch some of his videos this week. Oh, yeah.
Devin here saying B Group was huge this year. Lots of cars and drivers that stepped up their game.
Mm-hmm. Let's run through PBs. These are just ones that I could remember as I made this note before the show, but Calvin Nelson ran a personal best, never been faster than 863. Chris Wozniak ran 1128. That was the personal best for him. Alex Taylor, 655 in the 55. Kanan Hall, 902. Dude, he was heartbroken. He couldn't get to the 8. But,
I bet.
Oh, man. Tom Bagley, 998. And then, Brandon, do you know of more? There was just a ton of people make personal bests.
There was the only thing I just remember Derek over the PA just announcing, like, it seemed like it was for as much attrition as there was. I think there was equally as many PBs for different racers in different classes.
Yeah. So Derek, get in here and tell us about some of them PBs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good one, man. It was really a crazy event. There was a lot of neat stuff. Nick Cryer, this is the story, won the Finnegan trailer, $25,000 trailer. I mean, come on, that's pretty freaking awesome. And did it with a 0.026 reaction time average.
That's bonkers.
Insane, dude. 0.26 across 5 days. 3 tracks that he had only been to that day. Like, it was no, like, by Friday he kind of knew, or Saturday he knew what Gainesville Tree was like, but then it was all thrown off because there were timing issues. So, like, who knew really what it was? Yeah, 026 across the week. Had a 011 one day and an 017 another day. Pretty freaking
Uh,
cool.
Derek and Keith Hall in here saying
That's
he
right.
did run an 891 150 the last day.
That's right. That's right. Sorry, Kanan.
And Kevin Smith, what do we hear? He had ran a best, I believe. Didn't have a number here. Yeah, everybody in here saying Kanan ran his 8.
Okay, I get it.
Yep. Devin broke into the 8s this year and made their first
Wow.
8-second
good for them.
average.
Man, that's cool. Dude, it for again, just like Brandon said a second ago, for all the attrition, there was definitely some PBs ran.
Oh, and and then Trevor too. Yeah, and in the GTR.
768.
Golly, that car just rocks. Won the 6 Freaks class, laying it down, man. It was awesome to see.
Well, yeah, and set a new goalpost for sick freaks, putting the average in the 7s.
Yeah.
Dustin Cottle won an 844 and did a huge wheelie one day.
Yeah. Yeah, mega wheelie. Well, and got it sideways too.
Oh yeah, with
Yeah,
the water there.
I didn't see that pass, but I did get the wheelie on there.
Yeah, Rowdy Radio reset single pass Tanner Stover the 457 at 162, breaking Jordan and Devin's 3-year-old record.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was pretty impressive. That car, and that was that big black Chevelle. Like,
Yeah,
to go down on a 235, man, that thing made it work. That was pretty awesome to see.
Hey, Brian here's also telling you that.
Okay, I was wrong. Sorry. That's awesome. Yeah, what a crazy week, man. We're going to talk about some fun stories coming up. So let's move into a few other stories here real quick as we run through this. So again, thanks to JWire, dude, not just for being a sponsor of the show here, but for also being a great friend, being I feel like sometimes I'm an asshole with him because I just am just hitting him with stuff all the time. He's a great dude out there. Let's talk about some Molly Motorsports stuff though, man.
Yeah, Derek here saying first time ever for a pro street car to run a 6-second average. Nick Reinhardt and Glenn Hunter. And Rovic running 8s.
Yeah, I definitely, man, I missed all the notes there.
All right. Attention racers and high performance enthusiasts. Are you ready to start your next engine build? If so, there is no better time than right now to check out Molly Motorsports all-in-one Power Pack piston kits. And I know there's some people that left sick week that probably need some pistons.
Yeah.
With over 1,200 applications, these kits come complete with pistons, rings, wrist pins, and clips, all designed to work together. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And for the podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
So we're going to kind of continue along the rabbit hole we started there just a second ago, talking about sick week stuff. But I do want to go ahead. Let's bring in Chris Smith. Chris, are you cool with coming in and talking about some of these stories now? He said, "Bring it on, man." All right. Well, Per, let me get this off the screen. We'll give you a chance to introduce yourself. Say what's up.
What's up, fellas? Thanks for having me. New to the drag and drive, actually. Brandon's the one kind of been dragging me along a lot lately. We met. I did Sick Week 25. Got to do that with my uncle, co-pilot. We'll talk about that. That was super cool. I can't really ride bikes anymore. That was a big thing. So, been doing car stuff my whole life, never had one. So, did Sick Week. And then by April, I had my Cutlass. Was at Sick Michigan. And, that ended day 0 at 11:45 at night. It was done.
Dang it.
So anyways, yeah, it's been really cool. This whole scene is great. A year, and I know people, literally all over the world from this already. So
it is awesome.
Really cool to be a part of this. So yeah, thanks.
Awesome. Well, let's run through some fun stories here. First up, I do want to thank everyone for taking all of the snacks off the table. We talked about race weight earlier. Basically put out waters and Gatorades every day, had the tent set up, basically snacks along the table. People came by and gobbled that stuff up, which is exactly what it was supposed to do: keep people fed and keep some hydration in their body. So that was pretty fun to be able to do that. And I don't know, just anytime I was at the booth, there were so many people come by and just talk for 2 or 3 minutes at a time while I was trying to edit a video. So I apologize to anybody if I seemed rude. I was trying to just get some of those videos out in the middle of the day. So it was pretty awesome to be able to do that, though.
Absolutely. This was our first time taking the golf cart. I was going to ask you how that was.
Dude, it was great, man. It really saved me a ton of steps. It also
Hear
saved me
that,
a ton of time.
Yeah. No, I got to ride on it.
Yep. Yeah, we made it. Man, anytime I saw anybody going the direction I was headed, I made it a point to stop and see if they needed a ride. Not everybody took me up on it, but I think we were at South Georgia and come up on Brandon. I was like, dude, where are you parked at? He was like, man, I'm way out here. I was like, well, let's save you some time. Jumped on and we hammered down through. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. So my question is, are you going to rent one for the circuit?
Oh, for sure. We're going to have like 2 or 3 of them for the circuit.
Good.
We're going to have a fleet of carts.
Because if I fly down this year, I can't bring my scooter. So I'm relying on you and Dad here saying we're looking at getting one too for this year for Six Summer, for Drag Week, for anything like that. So we've got our eyes open. If anybody sees one good one for sale up here in the Midwest, let me know.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'm going to buy one yet or if I'm going to rent one every now and then because it was pretty inexpensive for the time, and for like $300. I'm like, man, I don't know if I want to spend, because like to get a good one, I don't want one I got to work on. That's my problem. I want
Right.
a good, reliable golf cart, and those are $5,000.
Yeah. Because what was it for the week?
It $300 for 2 weeks. So I got it ahead of time.
That's
yeah. And they pulled the roof off of it and everything for me, so it's easy in and out of the trailer, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, Jay Blanchard for sure. Hotel Hallmark is what they call the trailer that he pulls down, and we slept in there. And man, if I'd had to sleep anywhere else, they had a heater going, generator going, and a heater on in there. It was nice.
I can imagine. Better than sleeping in your truck.
Oh, dude, sleeping in the truck was for the birds. I didn't enjoy that, but I did sleep in the trailer for an hour and a half. We'll talk about this later, but for like an hour and a half when we got to Orlando, and then one other night too. I can't remember what other night I slept in there, but maybe it was when we got to Bradenton. So, anyways,
this is the first time that I've seen like diesel heaters on people's either trailers or on their trailer hitches. They came prepared this year, and I'm sure they were well used.
Yeah, there's people that are putting heaters in their cars. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because it ran great in the weather. You know what I mean? It wasn't like the temps of the car was a struggle. But there were a few on Sunday when I got there that were talking about their electric water pumps. They had frozen overnight. I think Dustin Cottle was one of those guys talking about that too. So let's talk about cars that broke for just a second. Stefan Gustafsson, I caught up with him on Saturday for the first time of the week. And he's talking about on the rebuild, he doesn't know what he's going to do yet. But if he goes with the same block style that he has, because it would just drop in, he said that they've figured out a way to get another 500 horsepower out of that car. It's like 3,500 horsepower. It would be the goal. And it ran a 616, I think, on day 1 or 2. So pretty impressive. I mean, that's a 5-second car.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should be able to get there. I think they ran a 619 day 1 and a 616 day 2.
Have you talked to Bryant anymore since other than the interview you did with him?
No, I figured I would let him kind of have a couple days to fester.
Yeah, that was tough. I was watching that live, and I just almost dropped the phone right out of my hand. I was like, "There's no way this is happening."
Yeah, that was tough.
That's a gut punch.
Yeah, Danny, yeah, it was Bradenton parking lot beers at 1:45 a.m. Yeah, I finished that one. I was like, I'm going to bed. Like one beer and I'm done.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Randy Seward. He three-peated, third time in a row that he's won. I don't think he's in 6th Street. Maybe he's in the 275 class. But 3 times in a row. That dude is an animal, 71 years old, just out there beating up on these kids, man.
Yeah, I told my dad, we were texting, it might have been Saturday when we were watching it, and he comes up and I go, this is going to be like a 8:51 pass. And it was an 8:52. And he's like, you were pretty close. I'm like, listen, that guy is dialed in.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of my favorite cars. Full exhaust, drag lights. I mean, that car could pull up to a parking lot and just, I don't know, he could probably hustle up some races for sure.
Same with that red Fox body. The guy has the bike on the top. Oh, I can't think of his name.
Alex Corella. Yeah.
Yeah,
thing.
that talk about, yeah, absolutely pool hustling kind of looking car. Like, yeah, take your money.
Yeah, some chrome. Yeah, some chrome boys. Yeah. It's like, what? What just happened to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one. So big shout out to Randy. Again, we're gonna go over all these like the class winners and the records and stuff on Saturday. But Kevin Schweitzer, want to give a big shout out to him. That car is now a 7-second car. That's something he's been shooting for forever. That's that maroon Fairmont wagon. I don't think I have a photo of it in here. Nope, I don't. Big shout out to him on that and the win there. And then Dan Dinan, man, the big red beard guy in Betty White, the Malibu.
Oh, yeah.
Took second place in the 275 class. As a last hurrah in that car before he retires that engine and puts like a 10-0 setup in it for his father-in-law to race. So he's moving that motor combo over to a car that's 6.0 started. Said he was just tired of jacking around with having to slow it down. So
interesting.
He slowed it down enough to take second place in Street Race 275 in front of Matt Lamphere in the Miata. So
the turtle.
Pretty impressive. Yeah. And then Jay Grabiak, well, the entire Grabiak family came down for the day. That was pretty fun to see them on Saturday. 14-hour drive they took on Friday, come down, hang out with everybody on Saturday, and then drove home Sunday.
Letitia says I broke everything, if that counts.
Yeah. Yeah, she did. She did that. Pretty impressive. So that car is going to be, it is really fast. It will be very much faster, I'm sure, once it comes back out. What else? Oh shit, dude! I almost moved right past this post about some safety. So I'll let you read this, and then we'll talk about Josh Davis's pass and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
What's that?
I was gonna say I was gonna let you read the post by Josh Davis.
Oh, Josh's, on the safety stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this one was interesting. Obviously, if you guys were watching, you saw the fire in Devin's new car. And Josh had a good post here. It says, a lot of people I know skimp on safety equipment, and I give them hell about it. And this is the reason why. It's never when you think it's going to happen. It's never convenient or comfortable to put it on. But when the shit hits the fan, it's what matters the most. I don't care what company you use or who you buy it from. Just get it before it's too late. Get a quality fire suit, helmet, gloves, neck restraint, and shoes. Make sure what's holding you in these things is also quality. Between this incident in Ready Whip and the crash in Gumby a while back, I've walked away from 2 pretty bad situations without a scratch. So pretty awesome. And then he goes on to list all the equipment that they use in Ready Whip.
And I grabbed the photos that he put up on that post, and obviously no damage to the helmet. But if you look to the right side there, I think that's his fire pants.
Yes.
Like the bottom of the suit. I mean, dude, that got hot.
Yeah.
That's why it's important.
The seat was melted there. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Melted or burnt, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's pretty wild.
In typical Devin fashion, the car's like cleaned up, stripped down, and like already in the process of being fixed. So
Yeah.
it was tough to see. That car
That's
was
insane.
on track to be number one.
Yeah, I mean, they were really on a run that could have probably taken the new overall record. Right there, I think would have been pretty cool out of a car that's brand new.
Right.
So yeah, I'm sure this car will be back out. Who knows? I mean, 6 summer drag week, something like that. They'll probably be back out.
Yep, I hope so.
Yep.
Yeah,
Man.
they were all parked at one of the hotels. The Devin and Josh, and then the Morrises and some other folks. So it was really neat to watch them like do the warm up routine for the morning, especially because it was not warm, but just interesting to see like the how meticulous Devin is like in person. Like you see the videos and all that kind of stuff, but just watching like how systematic they are about all that stuff for the day. It was impressive.
Yeah, those guys are beasts, man. I can't wait to see that car come back out.
Oh, yeah.
The first time out, and it runs like a 613. What was the other?
19.
Yeah.
I was thinking of 619 sounded right.
Yeah, 613 on day 1 and 619 on day 2. Wow. Yeah. Yeah. Pretty. Yeah, Stefan Gustafson was a 616 and a 627. Sorry, I had those wrong earlier.
Oh,
This chat with Cameron Johnson concerning the titanium drive shaft hoop was pretty funny. Andy says,
Oh man, I'll have to see that. That's been the hardest thing this week is trying to catch up on that stuff and get work done. Because everybody has videos out, all the, like where do you go? What do you watch? How do you not sit in front of the TV all day just watching that stuff?
Yeah.
And I think that's the thing too, is like being at the event, there's so many storylines that are happening all simultaneously. Then you like have to come home and like reestablish. You're like, okay, I was there and I saw that, but I didn't know the backside to so much of what was going on.
Yeah, I left my notepad at the house. So all I had was just like a sheet of paper that we talked about in the show on Saturday morning, and it was full. And then yeah. So that's my new goal is to just have a flippable notepad I can walk away from somebody and write a note down. Because man, there was just so much.
Yeah.
Oh, what's Andy saying here? Oh, sorry.
The last pic you showed of Devin's car, you can see the hoop laying on the floor by the seat. Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Man, hope that didn't come out. Wow. Well, big shout out to Molly. Those guys are awesome. If you need some pistons for your car, hit those guys up and get all your stuff.
My dad here. How about the Vanimal?
Oh,
Dude,
yeah.
That thing was so cool. Huge wheelies, just wow.
Yeah,
that felt like in that thing.
There ain't no way that frame is square on that thing.
No, it's always got tension on the right rear tire.
Right.
Yeah, the right side of the bumper has to be scrapes all down the bottom of it.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. All right, dude. Why don't you thank some race car friends and we'll move on.
All right. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Obviously, our first show back after sick week. So appreciate all of the race car friends watching, all of our race car friends that you got to talk to at sick week, all of our race car friend members. Appreciate each and every one of you guys. And of course, our sponsors kicking off the year, making this first trip for Mike possible, hauling a truck and trailer, which was how many hours? Like 15, 16 hours?
It was 16 hours down there. Yeah.
Yeah. So, can't do that without all these great companies here. So Summit Racing Equipment, Deechworks, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabuilt Transmission, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk.
Yeah, you talked about the truck there just real quick. 10 miles to the gallon. I was not prepared for that. Was not prepared for that.
Well, when you got to pull a trailer and you want to ride a golf cart, there's some sacrifices that have to be made.
It was a good one. I'll take that for sure.
I would have liked to seen a golf cart on an open trailer behind the Saturn rocket, though.
Oh.
I don't know if it's got the tow capacity for that, but it would have got way better than 10 miles to the gallon. I'll take that much. It'd probably got 20.
Yeah.
wouldn't have slept near as well whenever I slept. When I slept in the trailer, it'd have been on it. No way. Deechworks is a leading manufacturer of high performance fuel system components. They are the official fuel delivery system of Drag Drive Repeat. The DW product line includes fuel injectors, pumps, rails, regulators, filters, lines, and fittings, plus surge tanks and modules, all engineered to support power levels ranging from 400 to 3,000 horsepower. With a focus on engineering excellence and industry-leading customer support, Deechworks continues to drive the future of high-performance fueling. Again, DDR10 code for 10% discount on anything you purchase on Deechworks.com. Big shout out to them. They're bringing 2 cars to the circuit, going to compete with a 4G63 powered Volvo Amazon. Going to be kind of cool. And then, of course, Mark Campbell's 850 crushing Mustang. Really going to give Brian Acton a run for his money and be up for that Baker bounty of $1,000 that we gave on there. And then another big shout out. They are the racer party sponsor for this year. So that's going to be awesome. Racing go-karts, doing all that kind of fun stuff, eating pizza, doing a bunch of dumb stuff for the party. So it's going to be kind of cool. I appreciate them being on board. And lastly, they kicked ass all week in the quickest and fastest Tesla in the world.
Yeah, probably one of my favorite Teslas, if I had to say.
If I had to drive one, let's be honest, this is what I would like it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you get to catch up with Mark throughout the week then?
Oh, yeah. I bothered him every day.
So there's a rotary peripheral ported Tesla out of, I believe, New Zealand. And that might be my predilection between Teslas, but this one comes in a very close second.
That would be kind of cool. That would be really cool. Rotary in that thing, man. This thing is awesome. 565 cubic inch big block and a set of twins, bro.
Yeah.
My jam.
Yeah, the video that you had of this versus the hearse, like, imagine going to a drag strip and you see a Tesla rear wheel drive, big block, twin turbo Tesla, and a hearse. Like,
yeah,
that's sick week right there.
I wish this car was on small tires, to be honest, because I think you, with the hood down, you could probably hide it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Was the first time out, was that 24 or 25? But before they had the wrap on it, it looked, by just sitting there, you're like, what's going on? And then you see the cage that's in it. You're like, okay, here we go.
Are those wheel tubs in the back?
Yeah.
I think the first one it was at was 24 maybe, and it was gray. The factory gray body, and then now, of course, we've got it wrapped. It looks incredible. Looks like a race car. Acts like a race car. Low 8s all week. I mean, they wanted to be the first 7-second Tesla, and sadly, it just didn't happen. But I feel like once they go back home and get some testing done, they'll be able to do that.
Yeah.
What did you say there?
Danny said I got woken up to that thing firing up. Man, what an awesome wake-up alarm.
Yeah, definitely. Super cool car. And, of course, Mark being in the passenger seat of that thing was it just gave us some insight. Robert Freund is the driver. Guy works for Edelbrock, and just a heck of a good dude. And they struggled throughout the week, too. They had problems all week and, just working on bugs, man. It's crazy how, these cars look like they're all put together and you got a whole year, but that's the way it goes, man. Sometimes it happens.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's get into you guys. We've been talking about the event and all that kind of stuff. But I want to talk about you guys for a minute. Kind of, reintroduce yourself. Tell everybody what you drive, what you do. Let's talk about drag and drive kind of related stuff, kind of kicking us off here.
Yeah. So my name is, again, Brandon Parker. I'm out of the Fort Smith, Arkansas area. As far for racing and stuff like that, I have it's a Golf R on the outside, but it's been DAZA swapped. So it's the underpinnings, transmission, and engine transmission and Haldex. Those are all out of an Audi RS3. So it's otherwise stock with a downpipe. So it runs in the 11.7s when it runs well, and I can use my feet well. I think Chris knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, no, it's a fun time. It's I think we put. Roughly, it's a fun time. It's a great car. For my needs, it fits a lot of stuff because I'm kind of precluded from being able to physically work on the car a lot. So it's a different level of like set it and forget it. And it's my daily. So yeah, I got to get it there and get it home at the same time.
Yeah, talk about a fun car that would surprise the shit out of anyone.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, you roll up on this and the dude's kind of edging up on the red light, and you're like, whatever, dude. And then it's just like, bye.
Yeah. All-wheel drive helps. Yeah, I on the way. Oh yeah, that was a pretty good time. Trying to get out of Fort Smith area with the snow and the ice on the ground, but all-wheel drive makes up the difference. So it was pretty interesting. Well, I tell you what, we stopped partway in just outside of Memphis in South Haven, and they got to the hotel and they looked at us like we had three heads. When they were like, there's 2 plow trucks in the entire state. So out of Memphis, they've been coming down to help them like clear out some of the roads, but that was a very loose term of clearing out the roads. It was it was an adventure for sure.
Yeah, pretty sketchy. Pretty sketchy. It wasn't bad by the time I got through there. There were some spots though where like under the bridge and kind of some tree line where I felt the trailer move around just a little bit.
I can imagine. Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed in that area was like real under the overpasses, real like almost like speed humps of ice. Yeah.
Chris, what's up, man? Tell us what you got going on?
Yeah, so Chris Smith, I am from Westland, Michigan, so Metro Detroit area. I have 88 Cutlass, super original, 5.3 twin 66 Garrett's or Borgs, Power Glide, 12 bolt. So I'll share my embarrassing story. So, this is probably 2 days not sleeping. My uncle's up from Florida. We're doing everything we can to get someone's old project car going. And long story short, if you have any foam in your fuel tank, don't put in E85. Please don't. That melted, and I got through tech and everything with it. And then, anyways, next morning I'm in the hotel in the elevator around 5:30, and Keith Kirk walks in, and I met him at Sick Week. And man, what a great guy. So all cheery, hey guys, you ready to race? No, I'm borrowing a car to get my truck and trailer, get my car. So next thing, he talks me into it. So this was Sick Michigan. So last year they had a hard tire class. So I just went with the truck, still hung out. I was running fuel for everyone. I run people back to tracks if they broke down. So we still had a really good time. Hoping to get that going this year.
Eric
knows
again. About maybe foam in a fuel cell.
Yeah.
Eric had to pull some foam out.
I mean, I don't. Yeah. That was bad. There was a lot of guys that kind of came around, right? Put hand on your shoulder, and I'm like, oh my God, I took myself out. So
learning.
Whatever, you live and learn.
Yeah, mine wasn't E85, but mine was it must have been sitting for too long. And that was the first video, I think, one of my first videos that ever went, viral. It had over 1 million views, but everybody was telling me it was fake, that, the foam that I was pulling out of my gas tank wasn't real. And I just put it in there to make a video. And I'm like, sure. But then I pulled out my fuel pump and made a video of like trying to get it out of the fuel pump, the external fuel pump. And I'm like, this is crazy.
Yeah. Pretty impressive stuff. Well, listen, the episode tonight is called accessibility. So I want to give you guys the floor. Kind of talk to us about what that means to you and how that impacts the entire community.
Yeah. So as with anything with the drag and drive stuff, it's all about like, just getting out and experiencing it. Right. And so I think that, so many people have hard enough time giving themselves permission to go do that and be out there. But then again, it's like another level if you have some kind of disability or if you're injured or something like that. So it's more of a, get in where you fit in type deal. And so it's, Chris and I really want to lean into that and show people that like we're doing it at our speed, right? And so I think that so many people, they're worried about having the fast time and the stuff, but like just get out and experience it, right? And so there's so much fun, and you get to meet so many people, and it's a good way for like myself that to kind of take my mind off some stuff that may be going on, and then just kind of let your hair down. Well, even though I let my hair off, it fell away a long time ago. But it's just a great way to meet a whole bunch of people and get out and really, like, for myself, as tired as I was, I wound up being like feeling myself like more flexible than I normally have, because I was just like getting in and out of the car, in and out of the car, in and out of the car. And so it's like in that way, it was, it's just like showing that anybody can do this. I mean, from all walks, all ages, and all capabilities and disabilities for that matter as well.
It's a great way for us just to get out, right? Like, Brandon, I don't get out much. I don't know about you, right? Like, it's work and I'm home. So you don't get to go out and do a lot of that stuff. So I like to, cars. Well, yeah, and drag racing. Yeah. Oh, do it for a week with a bunch of people and have a great time. And it really is. Everyone, you don't really have to worry too much. You got people around. You're fine. But man, it takes so much out of you. It is tough. Just like Brandon was saying, getting in and out, up and down. I got to go turn in my ticket, and I'm parked. I didn't get in early enough to get a close spot. Well, crap, that's going to take me 25 minutes to get there. I'm going to have to stop and take a break. So it's things like that, right? That things you don't normally see. It's tough. I'm tuckered out by noon.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a lot of
pits.
Yeah, there's a lot of like planning that I think that most people are going and doing for the day, but in my case, and then for case of other people, it's at a whole different level. And so you're just like, oh, I got to go do these things, but like I have to, and I know I don't want to speak for Chris, but I know he does too. Plan for the steps that you're taking, because like it's the situation where if you forget something or something happens and you're like, oh no, I've already gassed myself out. Now I've really got to like go to this other thing. And so like for myself, that's every time that I've had a DNF, it's because I've fallen. I fell at Mike's event a couple of years ago, and then I fell at Six Summer and hurt myself. And I couldn't finish because, well, I couldn't walk anymore. And so like those kind of things are like differently frustrating. And so it's this level of like I guess like bandwidth. It's always like very, very high. And so it is nice in the fact that there's so many other people around that are very helpful to assist in those kind of things, especially with like the time slips and those kind of things. That is one of those things that is like differently frustrating, because for sick week, aside from like South Georgia, there's not a place where I can like myself physically can go turn in my time slip, because it's like upstairs or in a tower or something like that. So it's, you're kind of thankfully for co-pilots or people that are close at hand, hey, can you run this up there and turn this in for me? So there's just a different level of having to make concessions about different stuff, but still nonetheless go out and actually do it. I think that's the key thing that we're trying to get people to understand. Initially, if you want to go try out and do like road week or sick week or any of those kind of things, just get out and do it and see that there's a bunch of people that are happy to have you there and want to see more people out. And it's such a wonderful like family type situation where once you get into this kind of stuff, it gets under your skin, and you just have to do it all the time. And so like you just want to like, champion this stuff and scream from the rooftops, like, no, this is like some of the most fun you can have, whether you like cars or not. Like, it's just a wonderful time and a wonderful community of folks that are very supportive.
Yeah, 100%. They are the best friends you can have. I mean, it's amazing how many people we've met over the years, and how just, I don't know, there's always a friend somewhere within a couple hours when I'm on the road, or there's friends within a couple feet when I'm at an event,
Oh, for sure. And like, there's so many times where like that's the only time that I may get to see some of these people once or twice a year, depending on different events. And it's not like from people from the States. These are people from like all over the globe. And that's like it's such a cool thing. And especially too, when it's a shared interest. And so it makes it like that much easier to differently connect with folks, through all these kind of things. It makes it real fun.
Yeah, I agree completely, man. It's one of the best families out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. Definitely so.
So with some of that you're saying there, are you saying to get to the track super early in the morning so you can get that upfront parking spot? Is that what you're saying? That's always the tip.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely so. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Try to maybe sneak in if you can, right? Maybe even if you see a spot, just take it.
Yeah.
You know, throw a little extra on when you get out. Maybe you know.
Just yard sale it. Yeah, yard sale it real big, and then just take up as much space as possible. Is kind of the modus operandi.
Stretch your elbows out a little bit, get you some room.
Yeah.
Exactly. Excuse me. But yeah, no, that is a big one, man. Pack and prep, because you do not know where you're going to be, right? So like Brandon said, it's like get in where you fit in. But even, when your car you think is super reliable, you might have an issue, right? We're going hard all week. I remember my first trip with my uncle, we got stranded night one, side of the road, cut our drive shaft in half. It's a long night. So, what was it? Piece of exhaust wrap. So some of that Kevlar, and it wrapped around the drive shaft, clean cut. So that was a great night, long night. I sat on an anthill on the side of the road. But we made it to Bradenton. The next day, we were the last car in the lane before they shut it down. So Be prepared. Yeah, have your stuff packed. I mean, you should anyways. You're on the road for a week, but some of those things you think you can pick up in the morning, don't. Just have it. Be very prepared.
Yeah.
Do you have stuff you're always thinking like that, Brandon? Like,
yeah,
yes, for this.
It's definitely like an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure kind of a situation. So for myself, like I use like a manual wheelchair and have someone push me around in it before, just to kind of like save a little bit of time. I've now since kind of upgraded in a different way and have this electric wheelchair that is like, it basically reduces a lot of anxiety for me. So that way it allows me to like get around in the pits and all that kind of stuff. So it also makes the event more enjoyable, because like, I don't feel like I'm kind of like stuck, like either at the car or like in the one part of the stands where I can navigate. So it kind of like opens up a whole bunch of, it reduces a lot of barriers for me. It makes it a lot easier to get around, because there's a number of tracks that like while they are accessible in the sense that they're like they have ADA standards, there's a difference between like the letter and the spirit of the law. Like, yes, they may meet the metrics, but they may not be like functionally, for people that are disabled, like functionally good. And so there's some places where, and I think that Chris has been at this, in some of these people may be at the same place as well, where you kind of like go to a certain place and then you realize like, oh darn, there's either like loose sand or like loose gravel, or it's a big steep incline that I was not prepared for. A case in point, where Chris and I met was actually at Orlando. And so like this really loose sand underneath, right behind the bleachers in front of like where the concession stands are. And so like for me, I was walking through there and it was just like, oh no, like I've made a big boo-boo. And so, kind of get caught out in those kind of situations. And so you learn like different tracks that are, different ways to get accessible. Obviously, Gainesville, it's a national level track. So it's set up just differently than some of the other places, right? South Georgia is really nice. In a myriad of functions. The pits there are really great because it's flat, it's easy to get around. Places like prior to Bradenton, for example, before they did a lot of the renovations and everything that they've done, it kind of sucked because of like there was again loose sand and grass and those kind of things. And so you for myself, it becomes differently appreciable to not have to like, it just makes kind of like levels the playing field, knocks the rough edges off, and makes it easier to get around. And it's also too for like events like Insect Summer, like I love those tracks. But some of them, they're just a little difficult to navigate for your boy. And so it makes it like a different level of tiring. So it's differently appreciated to see, to have like the electric wheelchair, and then know that I don't have to like run the risk of those kind of things. And it kind of opens up a more enjoyable experience for myself as well.
So I don't guess I saw that much, maybe once or twice. Where did you carry that?
In the car. Yeah. I don't. Yeah, everything. Everything's in the car. It's pretty tight in there. And so,
dude,
yeah,
I've been in cars that small for lengths of time that long, and I can't imagine by the end of the week that thing would be like a Tetris back there in the back. Eric knows.
Definitely. So definitely. Like, and also too, like another situation is like, so back to like some of the ADA stuff, for like even in the hotels and stuff, like I'll in certain places try to get an ADA room. Well, what stinks is like the toilets are too low. So I'll carry like a bedside commode that has like adjustable height legs, so that I can actually like use the toilet. I know that sounds like absolutely ridiculous, but there's nothing more I don't know, like demeaning than like having to go to the bathroom and be like, oh man, I don't know if I can get off this toilet. And you feel, it's just like a whole nother like, oh no, I really did it. I really screwed myself real hard right now. And so, it's just, again, it's one of those things you don't know until you get in the middle of it. And so now, different things that you didn't think you were going to have to take on your drag and drive trip, And so, but yeah, you again, getting in where you fit in and kind of adjusting the parameters for what's necessary to fit your needs.
To live in a car for a week.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly so. So.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. How do, as promoters, how do we, I'm not going to say do better, but how do we prepare for that? How do we, make things better? Yeah.
Chris, you got any salient points?
It's not like, we're definitely not trying to come across, right? Like people need to do this, but I don't know, certain things, like even something simple, like I was mentioning, can I sneak a front parking spot, right? Nothing, not asking too much out of anyone, simple things like that, the turning in the tickets, and just like honest, to have access to the towers, to the people, and maybe some food and drink, right? Without having to go halfway across the parking lot. I finally got a scooter that I had to do a custom seat so I don't fall off. But, if that's dead and I'm walking, I am 18 minutes now, quarter mile walking. So I'm getting there, but it's 18 minutes. So to put in perspective, it takes a while. I don't know, something like that would be super cool. And it's not like, hell, make it like maybe 2 spots and make us fight for it.
I think it's
like an early registration Jello wrestling duel.
Yes, exactly. Yes. I think that whoever can blind the most people with their bald spot, they would also be another way to do that as well.
You're just right up front, automatic.
I got that in spades. Like 5-head, 6-head combination, Chris and I we'd be in the running for that one. But I think that some of that other stuff too is like on considerations for like when calls are made for different route stops. And so kind of like it's like, okay, we want to do this checkpoint, like how can certain people be able to park in different areas, just to kind of like knock those corners off. Cause I've been to a bunch of them that like, I really couldn't, like, it's neat, but I can't really like do anything there because of the way it's laid out in the parking in those kind of places. And so you kind of get, you again, kind of missing out on some of those situations where if, just kind of like shoring up a little bit of loose ends. And I get that not every single time and not every single place will be that way. That's just the nature of the situation, because some of the towns and all that kind of stuff are the things, but trying and striving to try to just kind of knock those things out. But like, like to Chris's point, maybe if there was like like a liaison or somebody like a point person at some of the tracks that could assist in certain ways, or, back to where if there was like, if they knew that there was going to be like an extra golf cart or something like that that could kind of tote some people around from different places and act like a shuttle. I think that would make a big difference for a myriad of folks, because there was a gentleman that I saw, and like, more power to him, because he was in one of those, I don't know, I should know what they're called, but I don't know, but it's like a knee crutch where your knee's at a 90-degree angle and it kind of looks like you're like a peg leg. And so he was doing all the work and turning his carb and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that looks like absolute. I mean, bully for him for doing it, because it looked like that was just such a pain in the butt. And so I don't know like how he would do some of that stuff and move around, because he was slow going as it was. And so that would there's just some little things like that could make streamline it for everybody. And then especially too, highlighting that kind of stuff. We're talking about it for like the live streams, and then hopefully getting other people out that may be on the fence about like coming out to the events. Because if they realize, oh, this is here, oh darn, now I like, because I think that's a lot of things like people, there's already a lot of trepidation, and that's why I think that things like the road week, sick week, and those kind of, or sick ward, and those kind of things are so exciting, because people kind of get like get a little toe in the water and learn to see what it's all about. And then, and then if they know like, okay, well, I can do that aspect, but now I know that like for the other side and competing and being here and being able to park in this area and that area, like, it just kind of, again, knocks some of the rough edges off of it. And it really, opens more doors and to get more eyes on it and more people there physically and get to see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to work with you on the circuit for sure. Trying to put some of this stuff into use, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, for sure. And I think
that's golf carts and stuff like that, and parking. I think that's an easy one. Do you know what I mean? We can manipulate those pretty easily.
Oh yeah, definitely so. And I think that's one of those situations where, I think that so many people think that it's going to be like it's pie and you're taking away something from something, but actually it's more of like a synergistic thing. So the more things that you can do like this, the better because people are going to have a better experience, right? And so if a couple of people have a better experience, so they're going to tell a couple of people, and so on and so on and so on. And so it turns into a really easy situation to capture some, I don't want to say like marginalized, but people that are on the fringe that don't know how to do it. And then also, like there's, I can't think of Stoney's friend that drives that Nova. Oh shoot.
Greg Jones.
Yeah, Greg. That's right. Yeah. And it's again, getting people like that out there that use hand controls or whatever the situation is like. That to me is it's like the setups are cool, but seeing the people that are doing that stuff, that's like a whole nother level of respect. Like that is freaking cool.
Yeah, and Greg crushes 12-0 index, 13-0 index, 11-0 index, 12-0 index. He can do it. He's animal, and so it's just awesome to see that. It's just and like I'm not here to tell his story or anything like that, but his hand controls are mega sweet, like awesome. Yeah, he's been on the show before talking about that stuff. I would like to venture into that a little bit more, and we can talk through some of that stuff obviously offline. But how do we make it more accessible? It's the whole purpose of this conversation tonight, to bring more folks in, because again, lots of racers in that group of people that are maybe on the fence because they're like, man, I don't want to park way back in the back. How do we accommodate them? And listen, the more we can add to the community, the better.
Well, right, and I think that like there's so many people that are in the community that have like a friend, family member, or whomever that is in that kind of situation, and they would love to get them out and see that. It's and so anyway, kind of putting more eyes on that and getting more exposure to those kind of things helps. It helps because there's probably some stuff that, even though for myself and for Chris, this is a lived experience, there's probably some stuff that we're just not privy to because I don't use a power chair, or I'm not in a wheelchair. So there's some other things like that could be easily done, or slight changes or modifications to how things are put together, or parking, or whatever the situation is. And so, I'm interested to see the response that this gets, because I think that it's one of those hive mind things, not hive mind, but more like a collective where everybody can kind of like piecemeal and put things together and kind of streamline the situation for a lot of folks. And the other part about too with this universal accessibility is that if it helps everybody, then it also helps everybody, right? It makes just a little bit of stuff a little bit smoother for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Mm-hmm. There's small changes, right? None of it's real big. But but yeah, it can make a huge difference. That'd be great.
go a
That'd be
long
great
way.
to see more people coming out.
Yeah. How fun.
Yeah,
Okay,
that'd be
well,
great.
let's talk sick week experience, man, because we hit on it a little bit ago, but I want to dive in a little bit. I asked you guys for some photos, but I think I didn't put all of them in here. But let's joke about this sick week prep photo right here.
Yeah. Yeah. That was so I had ordered some tires, and then I found out that they were on back order. So I was cutting it pretty close on getting everything turned around. And then the weather came, and that slowed down the tires getting here again while I was driving on radials in the ice and snow here in Arkansas. So yeah, for us, and Mike can attest, it was unbearably cold for us Arkansas boys, and the ice and the snow was a different way to start the week. And I think everyone from the north brought the cold weather down with them. It was a different level of brisk, you would say.
Yeah, I don't like that stuff at all. But if it's going to be cold, I want it to snow, but not when I'm fixing to leave town.
Exactly. I think this is the first time. This is the first sick week that I haven't came home with a sunburn, so that was a positive.
Yeah, I got a little bit of one. You can kind of see it on my cheek still, but got a good one there. So
yeah,
that's all right though. It'll be months before I get back out in the middle of all that. So.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah.
All right, let's say thanks to Deechworks. Appreciate those guys. They're awesome. Love those guys. Hanging out with Mark Campbell all week was great. Performer Built Transmissions, the official transmission builder of Drag, Drive, Repeat, right here on the show. At Performer Built Transmissions, the goal is to engineer and build the toughest transmissions on the planet. Performer Built doesn't just rebuild transmissions, they systematically re-engineer each model to eliminate OEM flaws and achieve the highest levels of performance. That's why they say our transmissions are not just built, they are Performer Built. And one cool thing about them is they don't charge for core charges or for shipping. So all that's included in the price you pay right there on the site. So performerbuilttransmissions.com. Jump on there, get your GM transmission. They are they're beasts, man. That's the word of the night, I guess. They just Ryan's been on the show a bunch trying to explain transmission voodoo to me, and I still don't get it. I'm still scared to open one up. I barely even changed the fluid in one because I'm so scared of it. Ryan and the team up there are animals at that stuff. So I want to talk about sick week. I want to talk about some of the stories that you guys had. We're talking about like route stops. What were your favorite route stops, tracks, and some of the cars?
Yeah. So route stops. It's always a fun time. I think like half of the fun for me for a lot of these events is finding new places to eat. And so like I'm not trying to crap on your fasting and all that kind of stuff for the race weight, but I mean that is like some of the most fun to try out and new things. So yeah, that my friend, my co-pilot and I, Peyton, we have like a list of stuff that's going on. And so there's anyway, you just come across the neatest stuff. So yeah, for this week, and again, like some of the route stops, again, some of them I can't really like interact with in a certain way. So it kind of stinks a little bit that it's not really some of those aren't really I can't really get into them and enjoy them in the same manner. I mean that to say I can't think of the name of the brewery Fooey that was one of the initial route stops, but I guess they had opened on a Monday. I guess they were opening up like a new section of the brewery. So it was a neat route stop. That was, and again it goes back into the parking situation. I could not convince or elucidate the point that I was disabled and needed to find a handicap spot that was closer. There was a lady, she was not associated with the brewery at all. She was associated with the city, and she could not understand what I was asking about. Thankfully, there was an officer there, and he saw that I was struggling to walk, and he was like, no, man, just like make a couple lefts and then I'll guide you right into the spot. So he was the saving day of the thing, but and again, it goes to that thing. I'm not trying to equate this with malice or anything like that. I just think that she was kind of stuck in the roads are closed. This is the thing. That's the thing. And
like, I need right there.
Yeah, and that was the situation because it was like some PVC like piping that was the roadblock, air quote. And I was like, if you just move that, I could park right there. And it was, just I think that people have a different strict instruction on the situation, and so they're going by with what they're told and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't fault them on that, but it's just one of those like you understand the situation on those kind of things. But say that to say I had a great time there, and it's fun. You know what I mean? It's a fun time. It's just that those are just like small little incremental bits where you've got to kind of in a different way plead your case, right, for the deal. So but no, as far as the events go, I mean, the Gainesville, again, that's another like wonderful pit area. It's very flat. It's very easy to get around. I mean, no notes on that one. It's a good time. I mean, for myself in an all-wheel drive car, the prep and all that kind of stuff is always it's always fine. I don't have a problem. I know that some people and other times I've heard them say, this, that, these are those for favoring a big tire car versus a radial car. But now, I mean, gosh, the guys that with sick prep and everything, it's a whole different level. I mean, it's lights out every single time. But I mean, I mean, what are you going to say? I mean, when you see these cars run these crazy short times, it's really neat to see like how much that has progressed year over year. For these events as well.
Several 1.0s, 1.1s, 120, 60-foot times. I mean, it was pretty awesome to watch that go down. And I still haven't watched all the replay on Freedom Plus to go back through and make more notes and things like that. One of my favorite route stops was the like day 2 or 3 when we had the little restaurant there. That was, I guess it was the drive day because it was during the day. And man, that place had like, for it to be Florida, I felt like I was in the middle of Georgia or Alabama. There were like deer heads on the walls. There were all the wood paneling inside and everything. Great food, a grilled ham sandwich or something like that, and some tater tots. It was incredible food, and what a really weird dynamic inside that place.
And I think that goes to like an aspect of Florida you have in your mind's eye. It's going to be like, Tampa or Miami or Orlando, but then you get out there in the rural places, and there's a lot of places aside from Spanish Moss, you'd be like, I think I'm in Arkansas or Georgia. This doesn't feel too different. It's, and I think that's the fun of the fun of so many of these events is you get to go see like off the interstate system into these other towns and see how the other half lives for the other part. And it's so cool because in so many places when you see the people on the side of the roads and they're just as jazzed to have the cars come through their town.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's
people on the side of the road. Lots of people.
Oh yeah. And honking, doing burnouts. I mean, it's how do you go wrong?
Yeah. There was I think probably my favorite track of the week may have been Bradenton just because of I feel like the fans there were having.
Oh yeah, and especially too, given like how terrible the day started with all the rain. I mean, I was surprised to see like once the clouds broke. I mean, they were very full, very full. That I would say like to quote them kids. The vibe at Bradenton is a whole different animal. You know what I mean? Yeah. It feels like everybody's local track in a different way. Like it's just a fun place to be. It's just a fun place to be.
When it started raining and I was in that trailer, I thought we fixed it. It was that's the end. I'm just gonna be right here. This is where they're gonna find me. It rained pretty hard for about 2.5 hours.
Yeah. It was definitely coming down. And then at the end of that, it sucks because then, and I obviously being there is one situation, but you definitely feel for the people that are trying to like, live on the live stream. And then they're like, wait a minute, what happened? The day's over? Oh no. With the crosswind and stuff. But I mean, again, it goes back to safety. for the real fast cars.
Well, and time too. Like that was the day I jumped in with Tom Bagley and like, they ran C&D cars. Is that right? I think.
Yeah. That's right.
And that was, they didn't want to put A and B down because one, they were getting so late in the day, it was going to be hard. But then, those guys would have been there till, I don't think we left till 7. So we stopped by the guys in the Rotson. They were doing flywheel swap and all this kind of stuff. So we hung out there for a minute. And then by the time we got into Tom's car, we drove 5 miles and it was dark. And
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah.
Struggle started. So yeah, the Tom Bagley trip was pretty awesome. We'll talk about that in the next segment when we get through all of that. It was pretty incredible.
Yeah, but I mean, I will say this year through all of on the driving, I would say it's probably some of like the most minimal amount of vehicles that I saw on the side of the road.
Oh,
it seemed like there for. I mean, I'm not saying that there weren't people that were having issues, but from years past, it seemed like that I personally didn't witness as much. In before, everybody would seem like it was something simple like adding more fuel or checking something, making sure that flicking the straps on the trailer or something to make sure that it's not going anywhere. But so I hope that everyone else, because I didn't see, because in years past I've seen people like lose a wheel or something like that, have just bad luck, those kind of things.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. And I was late every day. I was one of the last few cars to leave and never really came across a whole bunch of people because I kept thinking it'll be fine. Like that'll get me my stories will be these people on the side of the road, and really didn't see that many, except for the drive day. We did come across like Finnegan working on stuff. There were several on the drive day that were tore up.
Yeah, was that also the same day that Devin decided to yard sale it at the pump?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
That was wild to see the pictures of that.
Oh man. Yeah, I wish I could have come up on that in person. That would have made some great stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People coming up at that gas station had to be going, "What the heck is going on here?"
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
To have that late model of a Mustang with a big block Chevrolet in it, I can't imagine the stories that dude has from that gas stop.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, what about you, Chris? What was your favorite route stops and track?
Yeah, I don't know. I think, some of the best stops are the gas stations at night. It turns into just a takeover, right? And next thing you know, I realize, oh man, we've been here a half hour. Someone's pulling a trans. Most of us are standing around just looking at everyone else suffer. Those are great. Usually they've been followed by very, very long, cold nights. But, some of those are some of the best times I actually, meet people, check out their cars, get a good talk. For Michigan last year, I think we stopped at 4 or 5 ice cream stops, like almost every day.
Yeah,
that was great. If I wasn't a diabetic, I might be now. And then I remember this one stop. Everyone's doing burnouts as they're leaving out back, and then there was a concrete slab in the parking lot or in the field across the street. I am standing with my milkshake. There's a burnout or 2 cars on the pad. One guy. I think I have bad reception here, guys.
It's struggling for a second. That's right. We're getting the majority of it.
Sorry about that. Track wise, I'm with Brandon. Gainesville is great. Gainesville, I've only been, so that's one time for me. But looking forward to hopefully getting back there next year. Except again, we were stuck on the other end, but
that's a hike. That is a hike from the other end of Gainesville.
Yeah, but such a cool track though. Yeah, overall that was a great time.
I would say another route stop that was a great one was on the seafood place on A1A. That was a real good time. We wound up sitting at the bar and talking to a whole bunch of Canadians from Saskatchewan that had driven down. And, they were all telling like how far they'd driven. And so like we were sitting like in and amongst, local folks and some snowbirds. And they were like, why is everyone here wearing black? and then it got target. So it was pretty. It was a good time. It was a good time. To all the Canadians that may have been listening, yeah, I'm from Arkansas, so Mike and I are sharing the one tooth for this podcast. But no, I think that's one of those things is like where again we were just hanging out and just talking, and these other people were like, "This sounds like the most fun. Like, how do I get involved with this kind of stuff?"
Yeah.
And so it's again where you get to just talk about all the fun of these events, and people, they're like, "Oh man," and it's interesting to see like folks that you wouldn't necessarily think, but like then they started talking about the cars they have and like what they use them for. And so it's just like, oh man, this is a good time. And I think it's one of those like, easy talking points that really gets people communicating, especially too when you have like such a wide, diverse group of folks from so many different places. And so it was really neat. But it's also really great to see like when you go to the route stops and like you can recognize like half of the restaurant being associated with the event. I know that like at that place in particular, they were like the service was fine, but they were saying like we had to call extra people and we had no idea. Like we knew we were going to be a little busy, but this is wild.
Next level.
This is wild business. And so like I think that's the fun part for so many of these events as well, for the racers to experience like where the locals go, but also too for the locals to get that kind of boost from for the economy for that stuff, but also to get people talking about their stuff in a completely different way and opening the eyes to a different audience as well.
Right. Tanya Grabiak, they're asking, do you happen to know how many ended up out of the race? It's like 80 something. It was 359 started and
284.
Yeah.
84.
Yep. I did the math there. It was 84.
Incredible, man. That's crazy.
Yeah. So kind of one last questions here of this segment. With the longer race days, did you get more passes in? Were you one and done and get out of there, or did you take that time to try to get more passes in and improve your times?
So for me, mostly it's one and done. I mean, there's a couple of times where I was like, I had got into the staging lanes early enough in D class that I made a couple of passes on some of the days, but most of the time it's one and done. I'm out there to have a good time and getting the runs in is fun. And once I have that, I mean, I'm not the other aspect is for myself is like, it takes a tremendous amount of effort to like stage the car and all those kind of things. So like it's diminishing returns for myself. Like if I can't get it at the first couple of cracks, like it's just not going to happen. It's like, what I would consider like a bad, there's a couple of days where I was having a bad leg day where I couldn't get my feet to do the thing that my feet needed to do. And so, instead of getting frustrated and try to make it worse, I'll just go turn time and slip in and then just go have fun watching all the other runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And to that end, some of the days were very long. Like you got to be there and experience all of it.
Yeah, that was for sure. I liked that they started with D class in the mornings because it was kind of chilly, so that like kind of gave time for the track to get hot and do all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, big time. I think that was one of those things that some people may remember a few months ago. Yeah, Luke made a post kind of trying to establish a run order, and then I remember Devin balking at that pretty heavily. But I think that weather kind of played a big hand in that one. And so I think that to that end, it does stink though for A and B classes where they were there for the long haul. And but again, I think just a factor of the weather. That's one of those situations that I don't think so many people, when you think of Florida, you just never consider that aspect of it. But this year, that was definitely a thing.
It was the first time we'd had that happen. You know what I mean? Like usually it's down there, it's beautiful weather all the time. So the whole,
All right. One more here. Favorite cars of the event. You have a couple of those that stood out?
Oh, I mean, it's always a treat to see. I mean, like, it's always a treat for me to see what else is also in Sick Week Freaks. Calvin Nelson with that V8 that he was running this year. Like that's awesome. Like such a cool thing. Like all the stuff that he does, so neat. Then Vargas was out in his Drift RX-7, so that was cool to see. And then Trevor Brandon But also too, I mean, there's just so many different setups. Another one too is that black single cab Silverado. It's a new body style. He broke the drive shaft the last day at Gainesville. Anyway, it just sounds like really nasty and looks incredible. And then also the weird van truck situation that was
right.
Yeah, like those things are. It's so like it's just such a fun thing to be like, that is an incredible use of free will, which I think is the fun part of so much of that stuff. Also too, the Supra. I mean, that it sounds amazing. Then there was a Skyline out there as well. I mean, it's just interesting. I mean, I have an appreciation, don't get me wrong, for all the muscle cars and stuff like that, but I love to see the stuff that's like doesn't like fit in well, I guess you would say, for lack of a better term. And so this is so it's just those are differently enthralling for me, or like the different engine combinations, because like that's beyond the standard issue stuff, like especially too like the Duramax Chevelle. That's always fun to see. And then in years past, I've seen there's a Chevelle that I think it runs a Mercedes diesel in it. But again, like also the Enders car, that Chevette rather, that Chevette. I just love that car.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. There was some neat stuff. The Duramax swapped OBS Ford truck, the bullnose Ford truck.
Oh yes.
Dude, that guy laid down a burnout at the bowling alley, bro.
Yeah.
He likes to party.
And then the guy that he works alongside KSR, Kevin Smith, he has he had a right-hand drive GMT 400 short bed.
I guess I missed that. What the heck?
Yeah, so I forgot who it was, but it was someone had bought the truck, had it sent to the UK, converted to right-hand drive, and then somehow it wound up back in the States, and they came to own it. I was they were in front of me in lanes, and I was just overhearing. Somebody knows the story better than I, but I forgot what the artist was. Oh man, it was some musician that owned it, and you're like, what? Like that's so cool. But I mean, like you don't see. Oh, and then also too the guy, the Aussie that's in the yellow Tri-5. It's another right-hand drive car, and you're just like, that's yes, please. I love it.
Yeah, that car is super. And he got a great backstory too. He bought it here in the States, moved to Australia, swapped it, and then they ended up moving back. And so he's like, I'm not swapping it back.
No, just let it ride. There was there's and then the guy, he's also from Saskatchewan. He races that Factory 5. That thing is
Chris Hine. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. That thing is dirt nasty.
What night were we? It may have been in Bradenton. I think that's why I got there so late, got to the track so late. But he pulled in and they were fixing to leave, and he goes to pull out, and something happened with the steering column, and they pushed it back inside because the steering column wasn't working right, and they welded the joint back onto the thing, or it was like a set screw that had broken or something like that. They pulled it in and welded it on there.
Good.
So
yeah.
It could have been super dangerous, but that was at Ace Racing Engines when Kevin Smith was putting head gaskets on the soccer mom car. Yeah,
that's the guys from Saskatchewan. They were saying like that guy like absolutely beats the ever loving crap out of that thing all the time he can.
All the time.
And it's just like that is awesome. That is awesome.
They have a super cool like teardrop that he built.
Yes.
That matches the color and stuff. It's pretty neat combo there. And that car was on rails, man. 850s all in one it all week. Him and Finnegan ran side by side like 848.9 and the 849.0 or something like that.
Yeah.
Is a basically just a grudge match type deal, but it's so close, and neither one of them could turn that time. So
no. Yeah, because it was in the just in like the thou. That would be like one of those
heartbreaking. And I think that was like their second pass of the day, so they had to come back around. And when they came back around the second time, Chris just treed the shit out of Mike, and they ran within just a couple hundreds of each other.
Yeah,
but Chris was out like 2 car leaks. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's those kind of things like that where it turns into like the grudge race. You just love to see it. You just love to see it.
Tons of Volkswagens this year.
Oh yeah. Oh, with to that end, James Holt, he has the Carmen Gia. He purposely bought a turbo off a Temu. So whenever he beat somebody, he'd be like, not only did you get beat by an air-cooled Volkswagen, but you got beat with a Temu turbo. And so I know, yeah. He has, again, one of those no quit. And I was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, ruined a valve guide, so I had to do I think it was like a 6.5 hour head job in order to get it back going around. Oh, and then I think Jeremy Lesko in Fasting McNasty, he hurt a head on that car, and they had an injector problem, and so bully for him because he's had a PB on the last day, but yeah, that thing is so sweet.
Yeah, those guys almost bowed out at Gainesville. I think it's day one. They almost bowed out, and we were searching, trying to find anybody that could work on the car, and they end up calling some dude like that's 30 minutes from the track, just called the phone number for the machine shop. And the old guy answered and was like, "Bring it on, let's go."
Bring it on.
Drove it over and fixed it up. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, Jesse and Jeremy, two sweet, cool dudes. Shout out to Tweak if he's listening. But yeah, again, it's just so cool to see that kind of. Again, I think that's the coolest bit about so many of that stuff is for preceding these events, you see the parts call like, "I'm about to pass Summit. What do you need? I'm bringing it." And so everybody, no quit. You're not allowed to quit. You just come and have a great time.
Yeah, that guy, he was ready. He was like, no, I'm done. I don't want to mess with it. I think they thrashed to get the car together, and then they thrashed and got it fixed, and it was good to go. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Last part, Performer Built Transmissions. Thanks to Ryan and the team over there. GM at Transmission Specialists. Run through these photos. Oh, hey, tell us about this 11784 pass here.
So 11784, yeah, that was at Bradenton, and so the car, the Gaudi, every once in a while does this weird thing where the shift will it'll rev hang and won't shift funky. So of course the one day where everything works out great and perfect, that's the day that my pass gets waived. And so as it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much when the car is doing everything and my feet are working properly. That's what it runs in the 11.7, 11.77 range, 11.78 range. Yeah.
Yeah, that car is a blast, dude.
Oh, it's a real fun time. Yeah, the 120, that was me being an idiot and then not adjusting the air pressure and then letting it eat out the back. I think that was at Earlville, Iowa. I think that's where that was.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Chris, what's the story here again?
Overly excited after sick week. I think I'm going to pull something off in time for Michigan in August and pick this up as someone's old project that had been sitting for a few years in Chicago. But I had an 81 Monte Carlo in high school, so I instantly just went right to G Bodies and found this and ran out, picked it up. My uncle flew up. Man, it was so much worse than we expected. It's so bad. It was basically stripped apart, put back together by hand. I don't know how it ran. Every bolt on the intake was finger tight.
Oh my gosh, love that.
So it was bad, but whatever. So it's here now, and we'll give it another shot this year. So
nice.
We're gonna try to get out maybe with Brandon. We were talking a little bit, see if I can go out, out towards you guys later this year. That'd be a good time, and then try to do this again in August. Be a little more prepared this time. I hope.
Right.
No promises. If I can make it to day one, that's better than last year. So I'll take it.
All you need is better. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be. That'll be awesome. Okay, so Performer Built AFCO. Eric, you want to read this one, and then we'll run through this last few bits here, and then we'll kick it off for the night.
Yep. Racers know when you want performance that wins, you want AFCO. From shocks and suspension to cooling, brakes, and more. AFCO has been helping teams go faster for over 30 years. Built by racers, for racers. Check out the AFCO Advantage and follow them today on social media for the latest in performance parts. AFCO Racing, built to win. All right, so
hang on. I'm almost there, I promise. There we go. That's what I want. This is what I want to talk about right here, because this is a fun one.
all right, let's talk about the Mini Cooper, and let's talk about the shifter setup in this thing.
Yeah, so this is the car that I drove in high school and college. It is a 1966 Austin Mini. This car was sold new in New Zealand, and I bought it off the guy that imported it. So originally it was 848cc 4-cylinder with a non-synchromesh transmission. So I don't know if how many of the people that are listening are familiar with this specific variety of A series engines. The oil, the transmission is also it's underneath the car, so the oil for the engine and transmission is the same thing. So basically the transmission is the oil pan, effectively.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so so now it has 1,380 cc's of just raw power. I used to do like a lot of lapping days on road courses in this car in a different life. And then, but yeah, so over time, given the progression of muscular dystrophy, I can't really operate a clutch anymore. So if you want to flip to that other photo, local cool dude. Well, actually, I say local cool dude, but guy from Austria, Tom Taschner. He cajoled me into putting an air shifter on this. So that red button activates the clutch, and so yeah, so that's basically push the button, holds the clutch in, shift gear or change gear, let it go, and then off I go. So it's effectively like a hand clutch for this car. It works really well. There's an air compressor and a little tank on there, and so yeah, I can just kind of toot around and be able to enjoy a manual transmission again. So it's real. Yeah, it's one of those like makes you feel real good when it works just right.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And Tom, Lucky 8 Performance, man, he's
Yes.
building the Caprice for the circuit, so it ought to be wild. Big cubic inch twin turbo LS setup.
Oh yeah. Like I rode in that car in a different iteration, and like it is probably one of the nicest riding box Chevys I've ever been in. I was like, this is all right. This is real good.
Yeah, he's awesome. That car, man, I got to get down there and hang out with you, dude, because that car is super cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. It's a fun time. It's one of those like it's one of those you just can't be upset in it, right? You know, and so yeah, it's just
there's not enough room for you to be upset in that thing.
That is very correct. That's very correct. You know, and I think that you probably feel the same way about Stanley. There's just a whole bunch of stuff that you just can't outrun it, right? It's just such a fun time and makes you feel a certain way.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, I want to tell some stories here because I followed or I rode along with Tom Bagley for the night. Did not know what I was getting myself into. So if you guys haven't seen the video yet, I basically vlogged it. It was very weird for me to get back in that mode, but I joked about it earlier in the show about the tire swap that we did at the gas station. We left Bradenton. It was dark. We pull over 4 miles in, and he's struggling with the wheel, like it's out of alignment all of a sudden. He's like, it didn't do this before. This is important. Didn't do this before. I'm like, well, dude, I'm 200 something pounds over here in the passenger seat. Maybe that's what it is, even though it was pulled to the left really hard. So, we joked about that. Well, we make it 5 or 6 miles, and Danny Grubau's rear axle decided it didn't want to play nice anymore and slid out just about this much to where it couldn't grab teeth of the axle or the center diff splines. So that was fun. That was 4 hours on the roadside. Well, the whole time, Tom is doing an alignment in the parking lot. We're measuring, tires and all this kind of stuff. He gets it close, messes with it for like an hour and a half, finally gets it close, right? We leave after 3 hours. It's now after midnight. We're driving along. We get to just before we turn left onto A1A. And we're at a gas station getting fuel, and he looks down, and the tires is 2 different size tires, but it's a 235/50 in the front and a 245/50 in the back. Okay, not enough difference that when you're in a rush because you've just ran 2 personal bests back to back to close the day out, and you're throwing tires so you can get out of there. You don't notice that because when they pulled in a different way than when they took the tires off. So they put the 2 tall tires on the right side and 2 short tires on the left side.
Yeah.
Trying to do this all the time. So anyway, at one of those 1 a.m. gas station fixes it was perfect after that. It was great because he had to like put all the settings back for the alignment and everything in the parking lot. So
Oh
I'm sure
man.
the 7-Eleven people thought we were nuts. So it was a good time. It's a real good time.
And I think that's so indicative of these events where, you're so focused on this one thing and you may overlook or not notice some minor detail. And then you're like, what have I done? Why have I done this to myself? I used my entire brain and I did this. And but from sleep deprivation or, concentration on something else, it's so easy to like look past something like that. But then on the flip side, it makes for amazing stories.
Yeah, Eric and I joke about this all the time. Day 3 is the hardest on cars. Day 4 is hardest on people's brains.
Yes.
By then, you haven't had enough sleep. You've been out. You're dehydrated. All that kind of stuff. So it worked out really well. And then when we left the first route stop, which obviously was closed by that point, we left him some really good black marks.
Good. Yep. Well.
Yeah. Danny, that was a very, very long night. Yeah, that was the night we didn't get in until 5:30.
Oh,
5:30.
Yeah, a.m. Yeah, I don't know if y'all know me. I'm not built like that no more. I was in and out there for the last hour. We pulled over at one point for him to go back. He was talking to Danny about something, and he was like, usually because when we stopped, I would jump out too. I was like, "No, man, go ahead. I'm gonna catch me a nap." I don't know how long they talked. It may have been 2 minutes. It may have been 20. I have no idea because I was asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a pretty good time. So yeah, 5:30, and then I pulled the golf cart out of the trailer. It was 30 something degrees, and folded out the cot, got in my sleeping bag, and tried to sleep till somebody started their damn car at 7:00 in the morning. I was laying there with my hands are like, please just turn your car off. So they didn't know. So I went ahead and got up.
I thought it's a very strange white noise machine when they start big block cars like that.
Yeah, and it was far enough away that like it was just annoying, like it wasn't loud or rowdy or anything. It was just a noise, but I couldn't get past it, so I went ahead and got up. And when it's 7 a.m. in the morning, you better get up anyways.
Yeah.
So, what about you guys? Any fun late night stories?
Thankfully not. Generally for us, it was not too many late nights. Well, the only like weird situation was one of the hotels. It was they didn't have any parking in front, but so it was a parking deck. So fine, that's fine. Hey, that's fine. But I get up there and the elevator's broken. So it was one of those like, oh no. But thankfully, I had the electric wheelchair, so I was able to navigate the whole situation and really get creative with sidewalks and those kind of situations. And again, it goes into one of those things that like for most people that's like not a concern, but there's so many places where I could have easily just like because of like the angle and all that kind of stuff, just fallen out of the chair into the road, just like a real just been stuck out there. And so so it's just funny stuff like that where it's like. Some of the stories aren't that exciting, like to most people, but for myself, it's like, oh no, the pucker factor is real high. But no, so nothing too wild with that kind of stuff. It's just, I guess the amazing part is like for that one section on A1A, you're driving like up this thing and you see these people living on the stuff, and you think like these people would have to drive, depending on where they are, 30 to 45 minutes, like around. To get to like the other side of that inlet like that. I can't imagine electing to live in some of those places. Like, yeah, it's nice, but man, that's such a differently remote situation when you're like as far as like crow flies, not far away from the mainland. That's weird scenario.
Yeah, it was dark as shit when we went through there, so I didn't see it.
Well, I mean, that was pretty much it. I think that it must have been like a new moon or something because it was dark as hell that evening. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty wild. Did get to see a huge cruise ship though. That was kind of cool. Like
Oh, cool. Yeah.
gigantic cruise ship that was all lit up and stuff. So that was pretty neat. As we were cruising through there, like you could just see it kind of off in the distance. I was like, what is that? Like, why would a hotel be so bright in the middle
Yeah.
of like, what looked like residential area basically? And it was not a hotel. It was a floating hotel. So yeah, it was a good time. What else? What haven't we talked about?
I don't know. Chris, you're awful quiet there. What do you got to say, buddy?
He's living in FOMO for not being.
I'm past my bedtime, boys. You guys are wild.
Yeah, I think that's the other part too. Is you're the change from the schedule. Yeah, when you're like, oh my gosh, like what? Oof, I'm not as young. That's the one thing that I think is the most salient part for myself. I am not as young as I once was. We used to go, bomb down from this side of the state to Florida in one day, and now it's like, no, man, not anymore.
Yeah,
no thanks.
Not going to do that. I will say that I got home at like 10 o'clock Sunday night, and my daughter, I take her to school at like 7 a.m. and that was early. That was real early.
I think the hours go extra quick. Yeah. Oof. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. All right, well, sweet. Well, y'all, thank you very much for being on tonight. I appreciate you guys coming on, telling stories, kind of, being vulnerable enough, whatever I'm trying to say,
vulnerable. Yeah.
To kind of get into some of that with us. I appreciate you doing that. And
no, we're happy to be here with you guys.
Yeah.
So, thank you.
All right. Yep. Well, what events next for you guys? I know Chris was talking about maybe coming this way some. You thinking like 666? You thinking maybe the circuit? What are you kind of looking at there? Brandon, what's next for you?
Yeah, I don't know. We were just started talking about that a little bit, over the last week. So yeah, we'll just have to figure it out, see what works. And then, like I said, trying to get my car ready for Michigan,
Nice.
6 Michigan miles this year. Got a few people going to do that. So that'll be a good one. And it's easy. It's close. It's down the street. So I got that one covered. But yeah, would love to come out that way for you guys. That'd be a good time.
Yeah, for myself, it's just being this close to Route 66 for this year. It's just there's too many things that I've just got to be at all the places all the time. So looking for all that kind of stuff, and I think, and also too getting people that aren't come to this part of the country, right? I mean, they're gonna have such a good time. There are so many fun places, and differently that people are excited about it. In the towns that are surrounding it, they're gonna have such a blast. Specifically, shout out Galena, Kansas. Like that place is so much fun.
Yeah. Big shout, Aaron Perry and Brian Hayden with the shops there on the street, man. That like, dude, they're building a motor court. Like, they're building a new motor court for the 100th anniversary and on. It's going to be incredible.
Oh yeah, it's going to be it's such a cool thing. I mean, like and then it's such a just no notes. Just come and enjoy it. You're gonna have a blast. And then also too your events, the circuit, and then also those 1 day events. Those are going to be an absolute treat for people. Again, like low barrier to entry for that kind of stuff. Come out, enjoy a couple of days, and then and have a great time.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well we'll put you guys backstage, and Eric and I'll finish out the show, and then you're more than welcome to hang out. We'll talk a bit after the show as well.
All right, thanks, guys.
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Sweet. All right, dude. Man, what a good show. I think a lot of great conversation in there, a lot of fun stuff. Got to hang out with sorry, I was just going through the slides there. Got to hang out with Eric Saffel and Rex down there at Sick Week. Fun dudes, man. They had another guy show up that works with AFCO that like does a lot of motorcycle race stuff, and he was like, these guys have been driving these cars all week. He's like, we're like the semis and the trailers. And they were like, yeah, man, that's not how this works. So I think that's one of the coolest things about drag and drive. Somebody can pull in and see a sea of cars, see all the neat stuff. So, all right, man, send us out.
All right. Once again, appreciate everybody tuning in. Felt good to be back after a week off. And man, so much fun stuff. Again, we're going to talk more about all the records and everything on Saturday morning. But appreciate all of our race car friends tuning in. Again, all the race car friends that came up and talked to you over the past week. And again, all of our race car friends members, appreciate each and every one of you. And again, all of our sponsors, can't do it without them. So Summit Racing Equipment, Deech Works, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Howard's Cam, J-Wire Solution, AFCO Racing Products, Performabelt Transmission, Car Chains 3D, Power Tube TV, WAF Racing, Sweet Patina, and Racing Junk. And we will see you guys on Saturday morning.
Yep. Later.